And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending some time with us here. We greatly appreciate it. It really means the world to us when we get those phone calls, people supporting the show, listing their properties, buying our services and products from our expert contributors. We had some calls on solar a couple days ago. Thank you so much for everybody supporting the program, supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show, and all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. Interesting feel-good story for today. We got a trio of neighbors honored for saving the lives of Florida plane crash survivors. That's an interesting story coming out of North Perry Airport. Boca Raton Police Department was on that one. And we got Ray Hall joining us as well. He is a wealth of knowledge on all things appraisals and valuations of real estate properties. Ray Hall Appraisals in the house. Dr. Scott Anderson back in studio with us as well. Share the Love Charities and Addiction Recovery Care of Tampa Bay. And we also have some interesting stories. We're going to talk about the latest real estate stats, international real estate sales. Where are the buyers coming from internationally? And where are they buying? What are the top destinations? We're going to dive into that as well. A couple of hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team. We got some new listings that we like to feature on air. It's part of our strategy that helps our sellers sell faster for more money. We got a beautiful listing, waterfront on Lake Tarpon, 118 Lakeshore Drive East, Palm Harbor. This one has gorgeous 180-degree views of Lake Tarpon. You've got that wide open floor plan overlooking the water, beautiful pool and spa area, large back deck, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2-car garage, 1,740 square feet, quarter-acre lot. And it's one of the HOAs that are kind of optional. It's not the type of HOA that will throw you in jail. If you watched our show last week, there was a lady that got thrown in jail for brown grass in her yard. And now she did miss a court date, so you can't do that either. But she missed a court date, but she didn't. She had a problem with her HOA. But anyways, some HOAs can be like that, I guess. But 118 Lakeshore Drive East, Palm Harbor. This is a great opportunity to buy real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Granite countertops, beautiful cabinetry, lots of updates, upgrades. And check out that boat dock, Ray. That's a nice one right there, isn't it?
That is nice.
Backyard's private enough.
Yeah, private backyard.
You get naked, you're good.
There you go. Okay, Dave's going to be out there sunbathing there, so drive by.
And it looks like it's got the that kind of epoxy top to it, so that dock's going to last.
Oh yeah, that's from the really expensive marine lumber.
Yeah,
that plastic polymer type material. Yeah, and you got room for jet skis there. You got a large space. I mean, that type of dock is grandfathered in. I don't think you could build that new now. I don't think like, for example, if I wanted to build a dock like, I don't think I could build that big. So that's a lot of square footage. But yeah, 118 Lakeshore Drive East, Palm Harbor, Florida. Beautiful property. You have private community as well with a clubhouse, playground. You've got your own boat ramp, private dock down the road where you can back your boat down and go out fishing for the day, skiing, cruise over to Lake Tarpon, Tarpon Turtle there. And let's pull up that map here. Check out Lake Tarpon. It's 2,500 plus acres. We have a map of Lake Tarpon that shows you got Anderson Park there, you got Salmon Bay, lots of great fishing. You got Brooker Creek Park there, 2,500 acre lake. Great opportunity. I was looking out the window the other day through a brand. I brought a new pair of binoculars, and I was watching this fisherman in the backyard. Man, he pulled out a big old bass, man. He pulled a big bass out, and it was just, what a great place to live, work, and play. That's beautiful Pinellas County, Lake Tarpon in Palm Harbor, Florida. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. There you go. There you go. All right. Good stuff there. And a quick shout out to our friend Lee over at Lee's Royal Services. He does a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Lee'sRoyalServices.com, home and office cleaning. Lee'sRoyalServices.com on the interior. On the exterior, you got our friend Ramin over at Heights Soft Wash. HeightsSoftWash.com. Check him out online. Just did a great job cleaning our property. HeightsSoftWash.com for all your pressure washing needs. And we got Ray Hall in studio with us, back in studio, Mr. Ray Hall, Ray Hall Appraisals. Welcome back, sir.
Oh, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, man.
Always fun.
Good stuff. Good stuff. What are you seeing out there? How are things going?
Things are kind of, they're They've slowed down a little bit from our highs for the past few years. Some neighborhoods I think are seeing a little bit of an impact, but I'm also seeing neighborhoods that aren't.
Yep.
So, it's like we've talked about, market conditions aren't overall over the whole area. It's a pocket type of thing, especially in this kind of market where, it's not, a lot of people, it's the crash coming. Well, it's not looking like it. In 2006, or not 6, but 7 and 8, everything went down.
Yeah.
We're not seeing that. So, we've talked about it. It's a little correction because of we had such a great market for a while. Interest rates are up a little bit. But, they talk about wanting to lower them. And I think once we see that, or especially once everything comes to an affordable level for the local population, we'll be back.
Yeah, I think it's coming. I think it's coming, man. You got real wages are up. Well, I got a clip I'm going to play from Charlie Kirk.
I'm uncomfortable defending some of the things I've said a couple years ago. But look, I just look at results, and I look at this is a guy that goes to work every single day and produces wins for the American people. And look, real wages are up this year for working people, $1,100. We just saw the report that we're starting to see crude go down a little bit, and we need that definitely to have energy prices go down. Capital expenditures are going up, which is a leading prerequisite for economic growth. And
capital expenditures, that's a big one. I think people don't really fully understand that because that means that, hey, we're building manufacturing, we're bringing back business, we're building, we're investing in infrastructure. Cities, counties, municipalities are approving entitlements. And I just see where this thing is going, right? We saw it in Trump 1. We're going to see it again in Trump 2. And I think once too late, Jerome Powell is either fired or somebody, he reduces those rates. And then also, thinking about a boom in Florida, I think there's a boom coming because you have this socialist communist about to get elected in New York City, Zohan Mandami, whatever his name is. He's pretty radical, man. Don't mess. What was it? Don't mess with the Zohan or something?
Well, when we had that boom back in, back in the beginning of COVID, it was everyone moving to Florida because, especially if you were in the service industry, this was kind of the only place you could work.
Yep.
So, it remains to be seen, but, I think it definitely does set us up for, more population growth.
Right.
You see different stories going back and forth. Are we still growing? Are we not growing? And what's going on? But, I know that there were a lot of people in, some of those blue states who, have kind of had a different heart and do want to come to, a place like this. Now, there's still a lot that don't, I have family members that are, they're in those states and they love it. So,
good.
It's just all going to depend. But, I think Florida's always been set up for population growth and because we do have just such a great place.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got great vacation areas. We've got great schools. We've got great universities. There's just, I'd never leave Florida. I love it here.
Yeah.
Less so in the summer, but
yeah, exactly.
I still like it.
I wouldn't mind being a snowbird for a little bit. Put me in the mountains somewhere, maybe North Carolina-ish.
I'd say I have a girlfriend, and she's talking about wanting to get a place in the Poconos to be a snowbird, and I'm like, honey, I'm there with you.
There you go.
I'll tag along.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would.
So speaking of Florida, number one economy in the United States again, third year in a row. I believe that was a CNBC article, but here's some of the highlights. It says Florida, lowest number of state workers per capita, lowest debt per capita, second lowest spending per capita, no income tax, number one public education system, lowest in-state tuition, universal school choice, law and order policies. Again, Governor DeSantis paying $5,000 to law enforcement officers who come to Florida and sign on. You have number one for new business formations. And the list goes on and on, Ray. Yeah. 46 miles of gorgeous beaches. Tampa Bay, we got great sports teams here. We got fine dining. We've got the arts and entertainment. So many things to do. I love getting out and enjoy the waterways. Freedom Boat Club. I know Dr. Scott's in the studio. He loves to go on the boat. And I think you're a boater, too. You're also a pilot.
I am. And we have a lot of airports, so
yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on in Florida.
I mean, and that goes back to what I said about how great Florida is. I mean, I can hop in a small airplane and be in the Keys in 2 hours. I can be in the Bahamas in a few hours.
Yeah,
it's where people plan for years and travel thousands and thousands of miles. I can get up on a Saturday morning and decide I'm going to go to Bahamas today.
Well, I like it when say we can do that. Listen, we got to do that.
I know. Like I said, I have a girlfriend.
Oh man,
she's going before you, Brandon.
Man, well trained. Shot down. I got shot down.
I'll fit you in the back. How's that?
Well, we do the double date thing. How about that?
Well, you can call Captain Will. I'm sure he's got something big enough for all of us.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Captain Will will get a jet. He'll get us down there. We got the keys. We went with Mike Gallagher and myself, and we had a couple people with us. We flew from TIA to Key West for the $100 cheeseburger. We were there in 45 minutes in that jet that he took.
Yeah, he flies a lot faster than me.
He flies a lot. What does it take in a Cessna to get down there?
It's probably about 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on wind, things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little more sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's,
It's more efficient, too, gas-wise, right?
Well, it depends. I mean, it's only maybe burning 10, 12 gallons an hour or so, or whatever your engine's doing.
Yeah.
But it's taking a lot longer.
Yeah.
So, there's always that give and take. I'm hoping to get into a flying club soon that has some faster planes, which can be a little more economical because now you're getting down there a little faster.
Yeah. At least you're not sitting on Alligator Alley, for 4 hours and cruising down because it's stop and go into the Keys.
Once
you get those 2 lanes.
Oh yeah.
A lot of times it's stop and go.
After the first time I took a commercial flight to Key West, I said, I'm never driving here again.
Yeah,
Never,
exactly.
Ever. I always said when I used to fly in the mornings when I was a student pilot, one of my favorite things was to fly over I-4.
Yeah.
They're standing still, and I'm in Plant City in 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a good time.
Yeah, that's fun.
Same thing with I-75. It's, I'm doing my practice flights thinking, I'm not going to go home right away because that traffic's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
But, so... and again, but the opportunities we have down here, it's a great place to go flying. If you're interested in being a pilot, come to Florida.
That's right. Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I got the Pinellas County stats right here, Ray. So let's talk a little real estate market stats. And, again, we're bullish on Florida. But let's look at Pinellas County. Got non-distressed properties here. So 8,194, call it 8,200 active listings in Pinellas County.
Okay.
1,489 sold. That gives us an 18.2 absorption rate and a 5.5 month supply of inventory. Okay. So can you break those numbers down for us?
Well, month supply, basically that is how long it's going to take to sell off that current inventory with the absorption rate. Yep. Absorption rate is the rate that we're selling, how many sales we have for the inventory.
As a percentage.
As a percentage. Yep. So, again, I don't recall what the numbers were back, when the market was good.
I do, actually. Here, I got them. Yeah, March of 22, you had 1,112 properties back in March of 22. Yeah. So that was the high water mark, no pun intended. That's when the activity was the highest, the fast, multiple offers, highest and best, bidding from out of state, not even seeing the property. So let's break those numbers down. Again, in Pinellas County right now, 8,200 actives. Okay. In March of 22, 1,112. A difference of 7,082, and that's so. In other words, buyers have 7.4 times more choices than they did back then.
But we also have to remember when you listen to those numbers that 2022 was an unprecedented market.
Yes,
we're not going to see that again for a little while.
Yeah. Not until Zoran Mandami's elected.
Well, we'll see about that.
And the rates drop.
The rates drop. Yeah, but, I remember back in 2005 and 6 when after that crash, we're never going to see that again. Well, we saw it again.
Yeah. It's amazing how history repeats itself, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And you look at, no matter how many times you hear the story of socialism and communism, it just doesn't work. And unfortunately, this person in New York is potentially going to be elected. Where did my note go with his accomplishments? Or he's talking about defunding the police. He's talking about commandeering the supply chain, opening up grocery stores that are government-run grocery stores, defunding, ending cash bail. So, the police arrest somebody, they put them in jail. Nope, you get right out with no bail. I mean, that's going to be crazy.
Most of my family in New York is out in Long Island, and it's a different world out there. So
okay.
I'm not too worried about it.
So it's away from the city, then.
Oh, yeah, they don't even like going to the city.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. But, right now with those numbers you're talking about out in Pinellas County, folks need to realize if you've been on the fence of buying a house go out and buy it. Look at it right now. I mean, I have an investment property that we've talked about many times.
Yep.
You know, if somebody came by now and offered me a certain price, if it's below what I wanted, I'd probably take it.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, I had some issues with contractors and the county, and don't get me started on the county.
I know. We talked about it.
FEMA.
I remember. Yeah, the FEMA rule caused issues.
It extended my renovation times out about 6 months.
Man, it's tough, isn't it? It's not as easy as people think. Flipping properties, it's not all.
No,
it's not all. You know,
keep in mind, I've been valuing real estate for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, I can call myself an expert, and just, you know, things come up that you don't expect, and you're not, you know, and it's a lot of work. I mean, you can make good money doing it, but trust me, you're working for it.
And you make your money on the buy side.
Yes, you do.
Got to buy it right. We got to take a quick break. More with Ray Hall. Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Longtime friend of the program. And again, thank you for supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. Call our hotline, hit the website up, and support our show partners. These are expert contributors, all types of different business owners, account executives, salesmen and women that support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors. Follow us online. We'd love to connect at Brandon Rimes 1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rumble channel out there. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast.
Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com.
A.R.C. Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. A.R.C. Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com. Looking to level up your sales game? With 20-plus years of coaching experience spanning across several industries, Lindsay Rimes helps everyone from entry-level reps to seasoned business owners boost sales, improve work-life balance, and retain top talent with customized options catered to personal, group, or corporate settings. Brandon and Lindsay Rimes offer training on negotiation strategy, business development, and more. Let's grow your business together. Call 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Submit an email at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here. Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We're talking with Ray Hall Appraisals here in studio. Dr. Scott Anderson coming up next. A couple of hot listings. We'll jump right back into it. We got 12941 Wildflower Meadow Drive. This one's in Riverview. Recently just went live on this property. You got 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage. 2949 square foot single family home, 2-story single family home here in Triple Creek. It's a vibrant Riverview community with 990 acres of planned development. And when you get those planned unit developments, you get really cool amenities. You got 2 pools there. You got one that looks like it's more of a kid's pool with the splash pads there. You got a swimming area, lap pool, tennis, basketball courts, clubhouse. Great opportunity, resort-style amenities there, fitness center, playground, walking trails. 12941 Wildflower Meadow Drive in Riverview, Florida. Another one of our beautiful real estate listings right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Great opportunity to buy real estate, buying, selling, investing. We would love to talk to you. 3308 Landing Place in Palm Harbor. One of my favorite listings right now. This one's on Lake Tarpon. It's in Cobb's Landing. Great community, high-end upscale community here. 3 bedrooms plus an office, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage, over 3,000 square feet. You got over 1/3 of an acre of land. You got access to Lake Tarpon there as well. You got your boat dock, private boat slips there. Ground level master bedroom, gated tennis and basketball courts, waterfront park, playground, and scenic walking trails. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we're talking Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And Ray, I brought some interesting stats too. International sales, kind of interesting sometimes to look at international sales. Oh, yeah. So top 5 countries of origin, where are the buyers coming from? 15% coming from China. They're buying about $13.7 billion. We hope they're not buying our farmlands anymore. I think a lot of the states have kind of done away with that. 14% from Canada. Oh. That's $6.2 billion in Canadian dollars flowing into America.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, a lot of snowbirds do come from Canada.
Yeah, and I want to get up there. The local board does trips up there, like what do they call it, where you kind of going up there mixing and mingling with realtors up there. So I want to get on that trip next year.
That does sound like it would be cool.
Would that be fun?
I've been to Canada one time. I was in it's right over the river from Detroit.
Yeah,
I was in Detroit when I back in my finance days.
That'd be cool.
And what was that? No, I can't remember the name of it.
The province?
Yeah, it was a cool place.
Yeah, so then you got Mexico buying up, India, and then United Kingdom. So that rounds out your top 5. Now the big question is, where are they buying? What's the number 1 state in America where these international folks are buying?
I'm going to guess California.
Well, they're number 2, 15%. Okay. Number 1 is Florida.
It is Florida.
21% in Florida. Texas, New York, and Arizona are going to be the rounding out those international sales. So final minute or so, tell us what you're seeing, maybe how people can engage with you. I know you do still offer that owner's use appraisal?
Yeah, we do offer restricted use owner's use appraisal. If it's good for the folks that, you're just kind of, for your own peace of mind, you want to know what your house is worth.
Okay.
A lot of people used to think you had to go spend $500 to get that number, and you don't. We go ahead and we do it's an official appraisal. It's just a lot less reporting than what we give to the bank.
Right.
Remember, if you have dirt on your house, I got to tell the bank about it and show them a picture of it. So I do these appraisals, for folks, and for residential, we can do it for $200. Commercial, it's on a kind of a case by case basis because commercial is a little different.
Yeah.
I don't want someone coming to me with a 30,000 square foot skyscraper and ask for a $500 appraisal.
Yeah.
But we do give a discounted rate for those, and we can also do your appraisals for any reasons you have. I'm doing several appraisals right now for divorces. I've done them for estate work. You'd be surprised when the need of an appraisal comes up, and we can help you out. So call my office at 813-452-5369.
All right. He's online also, RayHallAppraisals.com. You can find him online. He's on our website as well, ConsumerQB.com. And he is a wealth of knowledge on all things appraisal values and valuations of real estate properties. Thanks, Ray.
No problem. Thanks for you.
Appreciate you coming in.
All right. Take care.
Coming up, Dr. Scott Anderson and our feel-good story of the day as well. Trio of neighbors honored for saving the lives of Florida plane crash survivors coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, we appreciate you spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. We got Dr. Scott Anderson joining us here in studio. We're going to talk veterans' mental health issues and some of the treatment protocols. We're going to talk with him here in just a moment. And before we do, a couple of hot listings and also our feel-good story of the day coming up. Did you hear about this plane crash down in South Florida? Trio of neighbors honored for saving the lives of Florida plane crash survivors. We're going to touch on that story in our feel-good segment of the day. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. 3314 Fernleaf Drive. This one's Hernando Beach. Brand new listing just went live. You got a waterfront lot here on a canal, access to the Gulf of America. 0.20 lot size. You got an R2 zoning. No HOA or CDD fees or deed restrictions here. You got offering access to the open Gulf waters. Great opportunity to buy real estate, buy and build, buy some dirt, build that dream home you've always been thinking of. 3314 Fernleaf Drive, Hernando Beach. Great area right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 17942 Augie Lane in Hudson. This one just went live also. We've got another vacant parcel of land, 1.21 acres, ideally situated with no rear neighbors. Again, no CDD or low, and you also have low HOA fees there for just $150 a year. You've got community park with playground slides, park eating area, looks like shuffleboard court there, and really cool setup. Great opportunity to invest in real estate. Hudson, Florida, 17942 Augie Lane. Another one of our 45-50 listings from the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's right. Yeah, shout out to our veterans out there, Scott. And I love this, idea of veterans' health, mental health issues, and bringing some awareness to that.
Yeah, it's long overdue, and our veterans need the kind of care that they deserve,
yes,
for the sacrifices that they give. So I put a lot of time and effort into researching protocols for treatment, because I've always seen in the VA in the past some very disadvantageous protocols for treatment, where it's mostly chemical, psychotropic type medications for the treatment of the top 5 issues for veterans are basically PTSD and suicide. Then it goes down to additionally, the depression, anxiety, substance abuse.
Yeah.
But those are the top 5. And the ones that are most prevalent currently, and suicide has just exploded in that
terrible
group of folks in the PTSD. And again, they're all interrelated. I did a movie documentary probably about 6 months ago, and it was presented in Washington called Protecting the Command Center, A Call to Action. It was a movie documentary about TBI, suicide rates in veterans.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to bring it to Washington to bring light and present it in front of the VA so that we can change some of these protocols for screening and how we treat veterans to have more efficacy and to be able to treat them better in terms of their outcomes. So again, PTSD, suicide, depression, anxiety, and substance abuse, and it's disproportionate. This isn't everybody has that or everybody goes through that, but it's not true. You're looking at with PTSD, if you don't know what that is, it's a reaction to experiencing trauma where you re-experienced a traumatic event when you're not in it. And it's like an avoidance of remembrances or reminders of that type of experience or things similar to it. Negative mood swings, and there's a a change in thinking, a hypervigilance, if you will, and then hyperarousal, meaning an overreaction emotionally to it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can throw in sleep disturbance and other things as well. But that's what PTSD is. It's not so much like it is in the movies where you see him grab a gun and run around and he's having a dreamscape and can't distinguish between reality and not. That's simply not the case.
Question: Is most PTSD from some type of
combat,
active service combat? Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. Well, I'd say most of the most prevalent is because it's brought to light. But there's people who survive domestic violence and murder, witness and murder and traumatic events where they lose limbs or go through a catastrophic event like 9/11. So no, it's not the most prevalent through combat because it's a small percentage of the overall population serve in combat type situations or traumatic events occur. So a lot of times, and this is one of the criteria that most evaluators, and I'm concerned with the evaluation process because they're doing a one size fits all for the treatment, and it really needs to be evaluated not just for PTSD but for traumatic brain injury. For there's possibilities that's what's causing some of the mental health issues, and prior experience prior to combat. Here's the truth of the matter, and a lot of people, it's a secret nobody wants to talk about in that area, is that a lot of the guys that go into service aren't too stable to begin with.
Right.
A percentage, and it's a good percentage. And the reason they're going into the service is to kind of get their life in order.
Got it.
To go through that stuff. But they've been through some crap, and they're engaged in abuse of alcohol or drugs and so on, and they can't seem to get it together. So they go into the service hoping that that's what's going to get them right. And it does, but you've got those pre-existing conditions that aren't taken into account, which really need to be.
Yeah, an interesting stat, too, around our military and the people that do serve, that choose to serve, is I believe it's something like 68% or a high percentage are from the South.
Right.
So it's disproportionately the South that is represented by the
it is a majority in the South. That go to serve, and I think that's because of the patriotism of the South. Is far exceeding that of the North,
and it's primarily Republicans.
Correct, and conservative and constitutional type belief system.
That's right.
Again. Just bringing light to it is very important because the protocols of just using SSRIs, that's select serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SNRIs, which is serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors. I'll explain what that is. And then alpha-1 blockers, the SSRIs, you may know them as Prozac, Wellbutrin, those types of things. Antidepressants. Okay. The alpha-1 blockers, that's often used in conjunction with, and I don't know if that's a good thing, but that's for nightmares with sleeping and sleep disturbance because it helps block the norepinephrine in the brain, the alpha-1 blockers, which is associated with the fight-or-flight response, which is probably why they're having the night terrors or sleep disturbances. And then, again, like trazodone, that's also an SSRI, but it's used off-label for sleep because it makes you very tired. So it's kind of like a sedative. And then the final one is the atypical antipsychotics. And these are the ones I really think should not be used, but in certain cases it's appropriate, like risperidone, olanzapine. That's again, it's an antipsychotic that has unbelievable side effects.
It's unbelievable.
When it's
Big
used,
pharma.
Which is going to, and that's what it seems to be mostly based upon the protocols of big pharma rather than cognitive behavioral, REBT, systematic desensitization, exposure therapy, cognitive behavioral. Those are what works. Having group therapy with other veterans, I've devised a program which is incredibly successful, but it's hard to get funding for it and to get referrals because the VA just doesn't want to send them anywhere else other than their psychiatrist.
Wow.
So even though there's incredibly good treatment available out there that can help these people, we're just not getting any help. We're not getting a referral source. And that's starting to change. People are waking up to this, and they're like, listen, we need to send these people where they need to go.
Let me ask you another question around it. If you just joined us, by the way, we're talking with Dr. Scott Anderson. Dr. Scott Anderson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Addiction Recovery Care of Tampa. A couple of years back, Governor DeSantis and his legislature changed the ruling as well as to where first responders could now be utilized work comp. They classified it where work comp. So is some of this covered by insurance that you're talking about?
No, see, here's the problem with insurance. It's a big scam. So they'll cover residential and psychiatric and medication management, which is why that's the protocol, because it's the most profitable. But talk therapy, group therapy, substance abuse treatment, they don't cover that unless it's residential or detox or inpatient. Sometimes they cover a little talk therapy, what they call aftercare, where you go in and speak to somebody, but that's not a appropriate treatment for someone suffering with PTSD and substance abuse and a whole host of other things.
Man.
So they need to go through a designed program like we have. Unfortunately, it's just not covered. It's just not covered.
Man, that's
so they're left without treatment. They're left out there, and that's why the suicide is so prevalent. Between 6,000 and 7,000 veterans a year die from suicide.
Man,
that's 18 a day, and I'm telling you, from my own experience and statistically, that's underrated. So that's not being reported. It's more like 24 a day.
It's underreported.
Right. So another 25%, it's underreported from accidental death or things that aren't directly related to suicide.
I think those numbers hopefully will go down just from the sheer fact that we're no longer under President Trump going to be into these global wars.
Right, exactly.
Right? So our troops are not going overseas like the Bushes did. Every single president.
And he's He's pro-veteran, pro-police, so the people that have these PTSD issues, he's going to allow them to actually get help and fund treatment. That's what we're hoping for. That's what this push is to get funding for this and have the administration who's pro our veterans and police officers to help us.
Yeah. No, that's a big point. And then, something else I came across this week, it was kind of interesting because there's so much going on with MAHA, the MAHA movement and RFK. But there was a couple quotes out there or videos that I saw where it was talking about how the Amish do not have any of the autism, right? Yeah. I mean, isn't that an interesting sample of an American group, call it a group or sample size?
There's plenty of literature in citations and studies that prove that there's a correlation between high amounts of vaccinations and disadvantageous health. Plain and simple. I mean, there's an overabundance. Just because they're covering up and hiding it and not releasing it, well, now they are.
It's all about the money.
And it's all coming. So this is, again, pharmaceutical company driven. So, of course, they're not going to put that stuff out there.
Tease the next segment for us. What are we going to talk about next?
We're going to talk a little bit about the treatment protocols and what can be done, and then, what we can do to help veterans.
Okay, good. Veteran help, treatment protocols coming up next. Also, our feel-good story of the day, trio of neighbors honored for saving the lives of Florida plane crash survivors. Coming up here next on the Consumer Quarterback Show. More with Dr. Scott Anderson. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll be right back.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net. For all of your surveying needs, land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Dr. Scott Anderson talking about mental health for veterans, treatment protocols. We got a listing here. I'd like to feature our properties on air. It's part of a strategy that helps us sell faster for more money with maximum profit. South Taylor Road in Seffner. We got a lot of land for sale, basically, guys. We've got about 15 or 20 vacant land parcels. This one's out in Seffner, Florida. You got 2.5 acres, zoned RDC6. So great opportunity to build here. You can build duplexes on South Taylor Road in Seffner, Florida. High and dry, not in a flood zone. In Flood Zone X, you can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
This is God's country. Tell me something good.
All right, here's our feel-good story of the day. When a small Cessna Skymaster crashed into a tree near North Perry Airport in Florida, 3 locals sprang into action, and as the plane caught fire, the pilot, an adult passenger, and 2 children were trapped inside, but survived with non-life-threatening injuries. Armed with a hose and an axe, neighbors battled flames and broke windows to free the passengers before the fire spread. Their quick actions earned them a hero's commendation from the Boca Raton Police Department. There you have it, our feel-good story of the day. Dr. Scott Anderson, what do we need to know around veterans' mental health?
Well, I'll wrap that up. Let's see here. The current system is broken and it's in need of repair. So we're in the works for that. I think there's lots of good people out there. We're trying to get a coalition of people together so that we can all kind of get together and provide the type of treatment necessary, because we know how.
Yeah.
We need the funding for it and we need the referrals for it.
Right.
Second to that, suicide and depression and PTSD, those are the big issues. But secondary to that is the substance use disorder, because a lot of times these veterans use drugs and or alcohol to kind of self-medicate. Again, it's a hard charging jarhead mentality, and drinking is part of that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for a percentage of them, that's not going to work out well because it turns into habit, which could turn into addiction. So that needs to be addressed as well. Anxiety for veterans is usually manifest through social anxiety rather than the typical anxiety disorder.
Okay.
So more social anxiety, not being around people other than other veterans where they feel comfortable in that kind of setting.
Yeah.
And what we were talking about, some of the core to this is when veterans leave combat and service, that's a huge issue because their whole sense of identity and self-worth, their purpose in life was to serve and to run, $100,000 equipment and to do all these incredible things. And then when they leave, what do they do? Like Dave was saying, we'll go work at Home Depot. You know what I mean? You lose that purpose, and it's very depressing. Throw in alcohol abuse and so on, and marijuana use, and next thing you know, you got yourself some problems.
Challenging time.
And then that's why the suicide rate, because again, if you go to a psychiatrist and he puts you on Xanax and Valium and SSRIs and antipsychotics, you're going to be in for a world of suffering, because that stuff is going to destroy you.
Are they testing like acid and mushrooms? And
stuff too? The microdosing of the psilocybus or whatever for the mushrooms. Again, not a big fan of that, or using marijuana. I can go a whole show by explaining why both of those are not, other than a temporary fix, something that you would use for treatment long term. It would be.
Speaking of shows, we did previous shows around dating and that whole game.
Yeah,
so I got a clip I want to play. This was kind of funny from Charlie Kirk. Here's a clip.
Women want to be they want to be taken care of. I know this is like super provocative, but like deep down, they want a man to be able to provide for them financially.
Should a man pay on the first date?
100%. Like, what kind of a wuss beta male is splitting the check? Like, who are you? It's like, I'm just sorry. It's I would go into debt and scrub dishes before a woman paid for it.
I split the check quite a lot.
This guy says
I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you.
What do you think, Dr. Scott?
That's spoken like a true married man.
Okay, there you go.
So he has no choice but to say that.
No, he's single. The guy's single, though.
No, Charlie Kirk.
Oh, Charlie. Okay.
Saying that. The other guy's saying he splits the choice. Listen, there's serial... there's women that go out there with the sole intention of getting free meals. And their intentions are false and vile. So I would say the average man... the first couple dates, dates where you're just asking someone to coffee, is to just get to know, to see if they're not absolutely obnoxious and vile. Once you get past that, if you ask a woman on a date, then absolutely 100% always pay for the meal.
Okay.
If you're vested in that woman and she has a sincere liking for you,
right,
I'm all on board for the paying and providing.
Because if not, hey.
But otherwise, what are you doing? I mean, then you're just paying for prostitution at that point, because that person's time is being sold for a monetary purpose.
Okay.
How is that not prostitution?
Yeah. Hey.
So, and again, or fraud. So that's the issue I have with paying for everything without getting to know the person first. And if they're not sincere enough about wanting to get to know you, to go to coffee or to go meet, to talk and find out, then that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Get rid of them and don't pay for anything.
Yeah, start with a low stakes.
They're just a rental.
First.
And that at that point, it's not worth it. So I would stay away from that altogether. But Charlie Kirk, I get it. You're married, so of course you're going to say that because you're a provider and you should.
Yeah.
But you've already gotten through that first part.
Yeah.
What about the rest of us? You know what I mean? So if Charlie wants to flip the bill for it, I'm sure he can.
It's
set
easy
up a
being
fund.
a millionaire now.
So it's easy to say that. By
the way, he's
when
married,
it's inconsequential.
He's married to Miss Arizona. By the way.
But they're a lovely couple, and he's a great guy,
awesome.
and everything about their relationship is sincere. But he got to meet that one.
Yeah.
So, but I guarantee you, if it was reversed and he had to go through the rigmarole of these serial women out there that are doing the serial dating stuff just for money.
It's a game nowadays,
it's
man.
terrible.
They're swiping left on apps.
Yeah.
They're doing all these things, and
they just want trips and this and that, and pay me. You got to pay my rent to go out on a date. Listen, now that's kind of seriously. Hey, you got to pay for this, that, and so on, just for my time, and I don't even know you.
Yeah.
Well, then that's obviously a red flag, and you should run as fast as possible away from that.
2025, yeah. What a different game change from 95, right?
Yeah. And guys, I wanted to throw out there, I'm having the golf tournament. Okay. That is going to be November 6th. It's on a Thursday. It's at the Plantation Palms Golf. Beautiful place. Yeah. $150 gets you a ticket in. That's with a banquet of food and drink, plus a free round of golf. We've got pro golfers coming, and we got the dream team assembling to help me out. And I can't wait. That's David Vargas right here with the Red Star Foundation, Will Smith Aviation, Thomas King from the Florida Firearms and Academy, Mike Murphy Auto Group, and Brad Bruner, the ex-pro PGA golfer, with the A2P Golf Academy. So we've got everybody together getting behind this so we can raise fund for exactly what we just talked about, helping the Veterans Association.
Good job. Yes. All right.
What is it?
Great show. Ray Hall on the front end, Dr. Scott Anderson as well. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.